What the hell's going on, YouTube? It was a bit of an interesting day. Got that financial data we've been talking about. Got some other, some political news coming out tonight, maybe. But let's focus up on the Fed decisions / our inflation rate coming out. So it dropped today. CPI came out today, and the one they mostly care about, the one that we've been talking about, that I've been talking about, predicted, the market was anticipating 3.1%, and we got 3.0%, baby. So it came in a little under what they were actually anticipating, which in theory is good. That means inflation is going down. That's a good sign. Getting it under control. I mean, it's still higher than what they want. They're 2% they're shooting for, but Powell has also came out and said at this point, and I mean, people I listen to have been saying it previously, that they're just targeting average 2%, and basically Powell has confirmed this now. Like, they'll cut rates. He's saying they're going to cut rates basically before they hit 2%, which, I mean, I think anybody who's paying attention kind of knew that already. Like we said, they weren't cutting them this month. They're not going to cut them this month. And I think the market is all... The consensus is September, I believe. I think there's like an 86% chance of interest rate cut in September. So that's why when we might see our first 0.25, our 25 basis point cut, so 0.25% come off there, and then maybe we'll get another 2 in the rest of the year. So October, November, December, somewhere in there maybe, or they'll cut 1 in September, and then maybe do a November and December cut. So they're anticipating 3 in the rest of the year, and 1, the first one will be in September. Funny thing is, like I said, Powell's now came out and said the quiet part out loud and said they're going to cut the rates before we hit 2%, which, like I said in the other video, this is a balancing act. When you start cutting them rates, that inflation is going to have a harder time coming down, because that makes access to money easier. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to get interesting. But they're using, what is it called? FATE. It's spelled some flexible average inflation targeting or something like that. It's spelled weird. FAIT. Yeah, FATE, but not spelled like regular FATE. Basically, like I said, they're averaging for their 2%. That's what they're shooting for. So if they can keep us down, we were under 2% for a little while, so they can use that to help balance out back to their 2%. I've also mentioned, I mean, these numbers are all bullshit in my mind anyway. I don't think inflation's fucking 3.0%. Like I said, they take energy, food, and housing out of it a lot of the times for this core inflation they use. I think regular inflation is somewhere around 5-ish% when you throw all that stuff in there. That's their number, so I'm assuming it's even higher than that. I mean, I just bought a pound of beef from the grocery store the other day, and it was fucking $6 for ground hamburger. So I'm pretty sure it used to be $4, so that's a nice 150% inflation. So I don't know what they're talking about. We'll see. But they start cutting those rates. Hey, I mean, that's what we're wanting to see. Last video I made, I mean, we'll see what happens too with like housing market stuff. They start cutting rates, maybe the people start going to buy even more houses, and it's not cutting the rates low enough to make it worth to sell if you have a really good rate still. So might make that even tougher. I mean, who knows? It's all up in the air. But the funny thing was, stock market didn't like it. So stock market kind of reacted negatively. Normally when they say they're going to cut rates, stock market loves low rates. Easy money means time to invest in assets because inflation is going up. It's kind of all tied together. Put a nice little bow on it. But the thing is, the stock market, more than it likes low rates, likes predictability. They want to know what's coming. So when these inflation numbers miss, even if it's to the downside, it's missing because in theory, like I said, it's all tied together. The job market and the economy is showing these signs of slowing way down, and it's at a faster pace than what they anticipated. So when the market sees that, they're like, oh shit, maybe they're going to have to cut the rates. Like I've been saying, you're going to have to cut the rates when the jobs go to shit. When unemployment goes up, them rates are coming down. They're inverse relationship. And that's not good for the stock market, because obviously if the economy goes to shit, the stock market's not going to it could keep going up, but likely it's not going to keep going up. And like I said, it's unpredictable what's going on. So if the job market and the general economy starts falling faster than they anticipated it to, wanted it to, are trying to direct it. I mean, the Fed's at the wheel, basically steering the whole economy, and they're trying to keep it on the road, basically. So, I mean, it looks like we're swerving right now, I would say. I don't know how bad it is. We're not in a full-blown spin or nothing like that, but they don't have the tightest grip on it. So we'll see where it goes. It's not really, I mean, it's their job, but it's also very hard, obviously. The economy is not some simple thing that they can just control with their couple levers they have with money printing and their balance sheet and shit like that. So we'll see, but I thought it was odd that the stock market didn't like it. But like I said, unpredictability is not good for the stock market, and we'll see how unpredictable it gets. Like I said, as we see jobs numbers tick up in the sense of unemployment going up, hey, they normally tick a couple times up and then they blow up way faster than their normal pace. So we'll see what happens there. And the only other thing I wanted to talk about was Biden's got a little press conference type deal at 6:30 tonight, and I'm gonna go play some basketball at 7, so I won't be watching it. Maybe I'll catch it right before, but I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to watch the whole thing. A lot of people are predicting Biden's about to step down, hand it off, pass the old baton to Kamala Harris. Yikes, dude. I mean, wow. If that's what happens, I would comfortably say that's a guaranteed loss for the Democrats. I don't see people repping Kamala Harris like that. I mean, she's not anything. I don't know. You had to tell me, if you're watching this video right now, what do you know about Kamala Harris? Because all I know is she was a California politician for a long time, and she put a lot of people in prison for like weed charges and shit in Cali, and did a bunch of weird shit to delay their sentences, so they were just basically held in jails and prisons. She seems like a bitch, so I don't know how that works. She's weird as fuck. She's always laughing when she shouldn't be when she talks, and I don't know. She claimed she was like Indian for a long time, but now she leaned heavy into like she's black, and I think that's legitimately, like, I don't even know why they did it either, because there's definitely some, in the whole United States, you couldn't find a black politician that is more capable. I think you could have easily. I really don't know why they picked her, but it's just a bad look. Biden's looking weak. She has a bad personality. I don't think like I said, I don't know, maybe people from California like Kamala Harris, but I'm in my own bubble here, obviously, in Ohio. Like, lady from California who put a bunch of people in prison. Not a good look. Especially is weird because the Democrats were hard on the like decriminalizing weed and shit, but they'll back her ass, which is odd as fuck. But I think they really legitimately just picked her because she's black, which I'm not down with at all. Like, just pick the most qualified fucking person, man. I don't know. It's not like it's a surprise or anything. They do that all the time. They always pick somebody kind of like the opposite to bring the biggest coalition together. Like, Biden has done some whack racist shit back in the day. I mean, he was alive during segregation, and he was working with people that were segregationists, so I'm not surprised that they would do some weird shit like that. But Trump picked Pence because he's not like him at all. He's like super religious conservative. Obama picked Biden because Obama's a black dude and Biden's an old white dude, so they had to get the old Democrats that might be still a tinge racist. They got to get them on board, so they did that. And now it's the other way around. Biden's the old white guy, so they brought in the younger black lady to probably bring in the minority vote and stuff like that, to try to be like, hey, look, we're representing you, whatever. I mean, it's all bullshit. They don't represent you. I don't know. You can pick a Mexican any day of the week. Fucking get a Mexican up there. Get some Mexican VP. I don't give a fuck. Like, they don't represent me just because they're partially the same race I am. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know them. Didn't even grow up in the same place. Like, who gives a fuck? I've never understood that, and I probably never will. But it'll be weird. It's looking like he might step down. People are calling for it. I saw George Clooney apparently was getting tore apart on Twitter because he called for Biden to step down, just doesn't think he's it. I mean, I don't know, what the fuck is George Clooney doing these days? He's got to be old as shit. Just another actor. I don't really give a fuck what anybody in Hollywood's saying. I'm not taking my advice from a Hollywood actor. I'll think for myself on that one. I don't need their opinion. Even I don't give a shit if it's George Clooney or not. Last thing I watched that had George Clooney at, maybe like Fantastic Mr. Fox, fucking animated movies. He's like one of the voice actors, I think. I'm not a big movie guy anyway, but who knows? But he's getting tore apart because if you're going against Biden, we're gonna have to be splicing videos together. Fucking phone overheated, dude. AC's broken this bitch. It's hot as hell, and apparently the iPhone can't take it. But what I was saying was, Clooney's getting his ass tore out the frame because he's going against Biden. So if you're on their side of their side of the aisle and you fucking say anything negative, they're gonna come after your ass. So, like I said, who really gives a shit what the Hollywood people are saying? I mean, that's what it is. It is odd to see him turning on Biden like that. Watching a bunch of people do it. News anchors, you're watching CNN fucking turn on his ass. It's gonna be wild. But I'm more interested in the inflation data, honestly. That'll be a more fun watch. But I mean, if something crazy happens and Biden does drop out tonight, that'll be a mix-up for sure. I mean, things will get interesting after that. We'll see what they do. If they prop Kamala up, I will be surprised. But I'll also be surprised if they skip over her. They're kind of they're in a little conundrum, I would say. But we'll see what happens. For their sake, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what they're for their sake. It seems like they're kind of fucked. But I hope you got something out of the video, especially the financial side of it. Hope you learned some. Subscribe, come back, watch some of the other videos if you want, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.